Red Sox Weekly with Ashish Sharma.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Red Sox Weekly here on BostonSportsRadio.net. I'm your host Ashish Sharma. I was actually off last week for the 4th of July weekend, but I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday. I just spent some time with family and friends and actually went to the Sox game on the 4th. As everyone knows, we got rattled. I should say John Lackey got rattled. He had a terrible game. But the night ended well. You know, we went to the fireworks display on the Charles River Esplanade, so it was all good at the end of the night. I still got to enjoy my 4th of July. But anyways, we are fast approaching the All-Star break here. The Red Sox are playing their final series before All-Star weekend, starting off with the Orioles tonight. So let's go ahead and start talking some Red Sox baseball. So in their first series since the end of Interleague, the Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Toronto Blue Jays. The first one they lost, that was obviously the John Lackey game. He followed up a gem, an absolute great outing in Philadelphia with a terrible one in Game 1 of the series. He lasted 2 1/3 innings, gave up 7 runs. And the Red Sox, seriously, and this is my opinion completely, they have to really take some time during this All-Star break to reevaluate where they stand with John Lackey, because this is just not working out so far this year. And so far, 1.5 years through his time here in Boston, clearly he wasn't worth the money. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start the unofficial second half of the season on the disabled list with some kind of phantom injury. This is just not acceptable. Like I said last week, or actually the week before that when I talked to you guys last, we can't have John Lackey going out every 5th start and pretty much just conceding every start like that. You know, where you say, well, John Lackey's going to go at least 4 innings and give up maybe 5 or 6 earned runs, you know, walk 3 guys. It's just not going to work out. So I expect Theo Epstein to sort of confer with Tito, and hopefully a decision will be made. And I really think that John Lackey could end up on the disabled list with some kind of phantom injury, and then Alfredo Aceves or someone from AAA like Felix Dubron could step up and kind of fill in this rotation that's kind of wearing thin here with Buchholz on the DL, Lester is now on the DL. So we'll see what happens with that. However, there was good pitching on the part of the Red Sox this weekend, though. John Lester pitched 2 nights ago, and I believe he's returned to ace form. He had a great outing in Philadelphia. He followed it up with another very good outing 2 nights ago. However, it was shortened. He had 4 no-hit innings, but he was lifted after the 4th with what's being termed a strained lat. I believe he had an MRI yesterday or the day before, and he will go on this. In fact, he already is on the disabled list. And Scott Atchison has been called up from AAA. He will be reevaluated after the All-Star break. There right now is no timetable on when John Lester could return. Same deal as Buchholz. You know, both of them are sort of having, Buchholz is having lower back problems, but with Lester it's sort of a upper back lat, it sounds like. So I really don't know when he'll be back. Hopefully it's nothing long-term. It seems that he has just now figured his stuff out, and he's returning to being that John Lester that we all know and love. That ace that we have seen over the last 2 years now. Remember, throughout May and into June, he really wasn't stringing together a lot of good outings. But now, up until last night, he put together a couple great back-to-back outings. So hopefully this isn't a nagging injury. Hopefully he can come back right after the break. I think rest is the thing that he'll need most. He'll get that. Then the Red Sox can sort of juggle the names in the rotation, kind of balance with the 3 days that they get from the All-Star break. They can reset their rotation. They could put it back at slot him in at number 1, probably with Wakefield coming in at 2, Andrew Miller at 3, something like that, to give Buchholz and Lester sort of a break and let them ease back into the rotation. So Lester is currently 10-4 with a 3.31 ERA. So yeah, like I mentioned, the Red Sox are just trying to get to the All-Star break here, these last 4 games, without having to add anyone else to the growing list of guys on the disabled list. They already have Jed Lowry, John Lester, Carl Crawford, Clay Buchholz. Uke is banged up himself. So hopefully this isn't a redux of what happened last year where they had like 25 guys go on the DL over the course of the year. Okay, let's move on to Tim Wakefield. He pitched yesterday. He didn't have his best stuff. He only went 7 innings, but he gave up 3 runs on 9 hits, struck out 7. Still a decent outing, but it wasn't that, vintage Wakefield that we've been seeing throughout this season, but it was good enough for win number 5 on the season. And now he's 8 wins shy of tying a big name in the news right now, Roger Clemens, and Cy Young. They both hold the club record of 192 wins for the Red Sox. So I think Wakefield has a legitimate shot at least tying them this year. We'll see if that happens. If not, I remember I hinted last year that this would probably be Wake's final year, as it is on his contract, that he'd probably ride out into the sunset and retire after this year. But now that he legitimately has a shot, and this is something that's very possible for him, I think, we could maybe see the door maybe be left a little bit open for Wakefield if he's not able to get it done this year. I think he definitely comes back next year and he finally sets the club record, breaking Roger Clemens and Cy Young's mark of 192 wins. So that'll be something interesting to see if he doesn't get it done this year. All right, how good was Jacoby Ellsbury last night? I really want to talk about this player. He has blossomed into something very special for us. Last year was a totally lost season for him, a complete waste of a season. He played in, 18 games or something like that. This year he came back with a chip on his shoulder. He had something to prove, and so far he's proved it. He's an all-star, and he absolutely deserves to be there. He was the player of the night yesterday. He went 3 for 5 with a home run. He actually started off with a home run, his first at-bat. Then he followed it up with 2 doubles, an RBI, stole third, and had a fantastic catch at the base of the monster in left center field. Now, here's the thing. The catch actually didn't count. It was called back because home plate umpire Tim McClelland called time just before Wakefield released the ball on that pitch. So the catch didn't count, but it came right after Jacoby Ellsbury's, double and then stole third base. So it just seemed like, he was doing everything that night, and it was still a hell of a catch. So, I mean, it still deserves to be mentioned. But he's really stepped his game up this year. I mean, I never thought that Jacoby Ellsbury was capable of doing this much as a hitter. We all knew what he was capable of as a fielder with his speed, in terms of stealing bases and things like that. We all knew he was around a 300 hitter, but he has really taken his game to another level this year. He's now hitting .310 on the season with a new career high in homers with 10. For the first time, he has double digits in that category. He set that mark last night. And he's also close to obliterating his career RBI mark. He has 45 already, and his career high in RBIs is 60. So, I mean, with this being the unofficial first half of the season coming to a close here, he's on pace for 20 homers and 90 RBI. That's something I never thought Jacoby Ellsbury would be capable of. I never thought of him as a double-digit home run guy, let alone 20 home run guy. Now, obviously, the second half of the season, guys tend to slow down. Their numbers tend to dip a little bit, but this is definitely a career year for Jacoby Ellsbury, and really happy to see that for him, especially after what happened last year. All right, like I said, tonight the Red Sox open a 4-game set with Baltimore at home. Andrew Miller, who's 2-0 with a 3.06 ERA, will get the start against Jake Arrieta. That'll come your way at 7:10 tonight. All right, that's pretty much all the time we have here on this segment of Red Sox Weekly. Remember, you can always tweet us your questions at Boss Sports Radio on Twitter. That's BOS Sports Radio. And you can also tweet me. My name is Ashish. That's AASHISH. And my Twitter name is AASHISH1989. Send me your questions. If it's good enough, I can answer on the next segment of Red Sox Weekly on BostonSportsRadio.net. And the next time I talk to you guys, it'll be next Thursday after the All-Star break. So hopefully the AL wins it this year, and we can secure home field advantage should our Red Sox make it to the World Series. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, thanks for listening, guys. See ya.